If parking and trash issues can separately cause friction between neighbors, together, things can get very messy indeed. Like in Toledo, Ohio, where this woman is moving her neighbor's trash cans out of the way. They are blocking the parking spot in front of her house.
We can never park in front of this house because y'all trash.
Her neighbor doesn't think she's done anything wrong.
You don't have the right to park in front of your house. It's a public street.
It's my house.
I can have 7 cars parked on the street. It don't matter.
And supported by her husband,
The public street.
she starts to move them right back. Not to be outdone, the woman's friend just wheels them away again.
Really over traffic.
The woman is now trying to park.
It's not yours either.
But with both sides now locked in a standoff, tempers, like the trash cans, are about to spill over. The street winds up littered with garbage. But this trash tit for tat is not over yet. The woman in purple is determined to have the last word. Police later arrive, and this woman is fined for dumping trash illegally on the street. The neighbors no longer live next door to each other. Now to Denver, Colorado, and a neighborly good deed that doesn't turn out how it's supposed to. It all starts in this alley in the city's arts district. A battered SUV pulls up, and the driver loads a length of scrap metal into her truck. But look closely. Something in that garage has caught her eye. She takes off, but a little later, she's back, this time on foot. And guess where she's headed? Straight for this mountain bike. Now this could be the end of the story, but it's not. In fact, it's only the beginning for neighbor Josh Berman, whose office backs onto this alleyway.
I was on my way back to the office after lunch, and as I'm pulling into my office parking lot, I see a woman carrying 2 large mountain bike wheels out of the parking lot. It raised some red flags. It didn't look like they belonged to her, and I couldn't imagine why she would be walking out of our parking lot with these wheels. So I stopped her and I asked her if I could help her, and she looked at me, kind of got angry and said, "No, I'm just trying to get out of the parking lot." And she kind of brushes by me and starts walking down the sidewalk.
Josh doesn't know it yet, but he has just met the bike thief. And her getaway is not going to plan. The bike has 2 flats, so she's now having to haul it to her SUV piece by piece. And boy, is she pissed.
As I'm getting my phone out to start shooting her, she turns around and swings a bike wheel and actually hits me in the chest. And she's yelling and screaming. I mean, at that point, I'd kind of had enough and turned around and decided to get on with my day. And as I was walking back on the sidewalk towards my office, I actually saw a mountain bike upside down in the right-of-way in front of the office. I went up to it and could tell very quickly that it was a very expensive mountain bike, and probably the exact same mountain bike that she had just removed these wheels off of.
Josh suspects the bike is stolen, probably from a neighbor.
So I've been involved in biking my entire life. The bike was a late model Santa Cruz carbon fiber frame mountain bike, which, I mean, those are not cheap bikes. They can run anywhere from $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 and up. It's definitely the kind of bike that, nobody would probably be riding, on the streets of Denver. So I picked it up and I started walking back to my office. And as I'm rounding the corner from the sidewalk into the parking lot, catch out of the corner of my eye something coming at me, pulling into the parking lot at a super high rate of speed. I jump out of the way at the last second just as she actually is hitting me and kind of smashes me up against a car in the parking lot. And I mean, I immediately kind of in shock. I'm trying to figure out, am I injured? The bike is lying on the ground, and she gets out of the car and starts screaming and yelling.
This is not your bike. What are you doing? Yo. You're a thief, dude. What is wrong with you?
Calling me a thief, saying I've stolen her bike, and just kind of out of her mind with a super crazed look in her eye. And at that point, I realized that she was willing to run me over, kill me to get this bike. So I leave the bike and I ran into my office and started shouting to my coworkers to call 911.
Josh then quickly returns to the parking lot, determined to capture the thief on his cell phone camera.
We walked back just to see her pulling out of the parking lot, and at that point I got my phone out again. And, I mean, you literally see scrap metal falling out of the back of this dilapidated Bronco with no plates, and she's still screaming and yelling while she's driving down the street. I mean, at that point, I kind of just considered myself lucky that I wasn't more seriously injured, and went into the office where we started looking at the security cams and saw that it was indeed our neighbor's bike that had been stolen from the alley. We went over to the neighbor's house and knocked on the door just as he was coming home, and I got to break the bad news to him that unfortunately his bike had been stolen, and showed him the footage.
Josh and his neighbor Sean, who owns the bike, have both filed complaints with the Denver police, but so far, no arrests have been made.
Law enforcement, I feel like nationwide, is not prioritizing bike theft. And obviously there are a lot of bigger and more important issues that we're all dealing with. But at the same time, people have taken it for granted that, you know, Denver is a relatively safe city and they let their guard down. And I mean, it's a problem.
We're in Orlando, Florida. A man staggers to his neighbor's door, gasping for breath. He's middle school teacher Billy Bass, alone working from home, and he needs help fast.
I thought to myself, you know, my only hope is to run to my neighbors.
Billy's neighbor and friend of 14 years is Karen Aranda. Luckily, she's at home with her family.
I've known Karen and Junior for just a long time. Kids went to school together.
We were sitting around the table and we heard this pounding knock on the door. It was actually scary. And when I opened the door and I saw Billy's face, immediately I knew that there was something wrong with him.
Okay, Billy. You're talking?
It was just like an instinct. I turned him around. I wrapped my arms around him. When I pushed into his stomach the first time, nothing happened.
I know I only had a few seconds left. I'm gonna die.
So I squeezed him for the second time.
Did it come out? Yeah, it came out.
And a big old piece of meat. I mean, it was a good size of meat. It flew out like a cork out of a bottle, about 3 or 4 feet in the grass.
Get water, bring water. Hey! Call 911. No? I get ready to die.
Karen has cleared the blockage by performing abdominal thrusts, also known as a Heimlich maneuver.
The relief of just having air is something you take for granted. Like I could breathe.
My son said, oh, you know, it came out. And then he turned around. I knew that he was okay. Like his blood started flowing and he started breathing.
You saved my life. Oh my God, Billy.
We hugged each other and I was just like very, very emotional because I couldn't imagine what could have happened if I wouldn't have opened the door.
Oh, you saved my life. Oh my God.
At that moment, you think, wow, you know, I could have died. You know, somebody that was trained in CPR, first aid, makes all the difference in the world. Carly, the Latina Wonder Woman, she was so strong.
I'm in the dental field. I'm an office manager, and you have to be CPR certified.
Tender meat. Holy damn.
After his ordeal, Billy resolves to take a first aid course himself.
I am YMCA certified trained now. I want to make sure that I'm prepared as well to help my neighbor.
And it's made the neighbors even better friends as they promote first aid awareness together.
I borrowed beer from her before, I borrowed tools, but this time she saved my life, so it was the ultimate, you know, neighbor, you know, gratitude. She's my angel.
It's 8 a.m. in Reading, Pennsylvania, and Deborah Marie is getting ready to go to work.
Reading, Pennsylvania is a very, very great place to live. I recently purchased a home, so while I was getting renovated, I was staying with a relative of mine. I normally park right in front of where we live. But because I got home at like 1 in the morning, there was absolutely no parking.
So Deborah parked on the yellow line across the street. But the next morning, a neighbor claims Deborah has parked too close to her car.
What makes you different?
I don't care.
What makes you different than me?
What makes me different than you?
Yes.
The fact that I've lived here for 20
Okay, and I live over there and I pay rent as well.
If I knew that it was a problem, I would have never parked in front of her home to avoid, any confrontations. But at that point, I realized that she was also parked illegally on a yellow line as well, in front of her own home. I guess she just thought that she was exempt from the laws.
Aren't you late for work? And you don't need to park on the yellow line either.
I took out my phone because she just felt way too entitled, so it just escalated.
She doesn't need to park here. I don't know where
Look, she's on the yellow line. I'm on the yellow line. Slim, go over there. What do you see? Both of us parked on the yellow line. But because she lives here, exactly, you're not supposed to park here either. But because she lives there,
don't park here.
Don't
park up against my
please
car.
stay 6 feet away. Coronavirus. You are Karen. Back away.
She charged towards me.
Back away.
And my reflexes, they're just too fast. And my arm extended and she flew back.
Call the cops. I got it on camera. I got it on camera. I got it on camera. I got it on camera, so go ahead. I could call the cops, or you could call the cops, and we could show them the footage.
When I pushed the woman and she fell, at that moment I was very scared. I'm not even gonna lie, because when she got up, there was blood. So I'm like, call the cops. At that point, because I knew that I had it on camera, and the proof is in the pudding. You can see her charging towards me.
Why are you near me? And I put my hand out. Why are you near? You're still coming near me.
You're near me.
You're on the yellow line too. She has to be to work and she's starting ruckus.
I have to be at work and I'm starting ruckus.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes.
Now I have a lump on my head with blood.
So we both gonna get a ticket.
I did not think that was the end of it. She grabbed her daughter.
What is your problem?
What is your mom's problem or your aunt's problem or your grandma's problem? She's yelling at me.
3 inches from her bumper.
She's on the yellow line as well. She's scolding me for being on the yellow line, and she's on the yellow line.
She just said a couple of words and then went back inside. After that, that's when the cops were called and the cops came.
The police arrive, but no arrests are made.
The cop was like, let me see the video. I didn't get a ticket. He did give me a warning, and he said next time, don't go around doing stuff like that because she could have got severely hurt. Whenever I go over to my relative's house, I clearly see that she's still parking on the yellow line.
You are Karen.
My perspective on neighbors, avoid any confrontation. Respect thy neighbor. Just respect.
I have a question. When y'all got out of the car the other day, and my old man was right here, why was y'all being rude? Because that right there made him cry all night.
Rude about what?
Laughing at him.
About what?
I don't know. Y'all were sitting, your old lady was sitting right here staring at him, and so were y'all's friends, and y'all were cracking up. When you came out, you looked at him too.
Oh, no, we just got back.
Now, don't answer no stupid question.
That's not stupid. I'm just asking.
I promise you that every day I come out here from now on, I'm going to make fun of you.
Well,
I don't
just like
care.
I'm going to do you.
I don't care if you sit over there and cry yourself to sleep every night.
Well, you don't have to.
But if you don't break your over there.
I want you to put me out. I want you to do it.
Leanne, he can't put you in jail.
I know we
Go to
can't.
hell, you son of a...
Get the hell out of this
No,
yard.
you put me out. You sorry.
You gonna
You do something.
put your
If it's not already painfully obvious, these neighbors have a long history of dislike for each other.
get the out of the yard. Get the out of here.
Put your hands on me.
Come on. Come on.
Having failed to talk his neighbor off his property, the homeowner tries a different approach.
Don't. Babe, stop. Stop, please stop. Stop. Oh, my God.
While it's not clear what started this particular fight, or what happened after, one thing is certain. This altercation could have been avoided if they had a nice big fence between their yards. Houston, Texas. A quiet Sunday evening in the suburbs is suddenly gripped by panic. A mom can't believe what she is seeing.
All these cars just waiting because there is a freaking Bengal tiger boom in this yard.
Neighbors are feverishly messaging each other to ask where the tiger comes from or who it belongs to. It seems to have appeared out of nowhere.
And this dude needs to be careful. Holy cow.
With their children locked behind doors, the woman dials 911. Then she recognizes one fearless neighbor as an off-duty sheriff's deputy. He is attempting to hold back the man-eater at gunpoint.
Oh my gosh, he's gonna shoot it. He's gonna shoot it.
But the tiger keeps on coming.
What the heck? Why is there a tiger?
Suddenly, a man appears out of frame, and he's attracting the tiger's attention. He's claiming to be the tiger's owner.
Get the f back inside. I don't know who the f this is. Get the f back inside.
Oh.
To the neighbor's relief, the man claiming to be the tiger's owner is able to lure it into his vehicle and drive away. Police catch up with him. He reveals the animal is 9 months old, named India, and being kept illegally right under neighbors' noses, just 2 doors down from the mom who filmed this video.
Oh my gosh.
India is given a new home at an animal sanctuary in Murchison, Texas. Called Black Beauty Ranch, it is run by the Humane Society of the United States, which is lobbying for legislation that would prohibit big cats from being kept as pets. 45 miles northwest of Chicago is the city of Crystal Lake, Illinois, home to Aaron and Samantha Helmer and their 3 children. At 3 a.m. one morning, Aaron is awoken by an intruder alert from his home security system. A stranger has walked onto his driveway and tried the door of his unlocked car.
I look at my phone and see that my car door is wide open and the light is on. Didn't really think about if the guy had a weapon at all. I just knew that I didn't want somebody in my car.
Oh my God.
I slammed the car door shut on him just to kind of stun him because I didn't know what kind of size person he was when I first ran up to him.
Oh my God.
I'm 260 pounds. I'm a big guy. He was about 120 pounds soaking wet.
Drop whatever you have in there, okay? Yeah. All right. You okay? Yeah, I'm so sorry.
I think this kid was scared that I came outside of my underwear.
What do you have in there? In the wallet? Where's it at?
Then I had to call my wife and wake her up out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was scared doing that.
I was trying to make money or something. I'm hiring. Everybody's hiring. Yeah. So much. I don't want to explain it.
Aaron called my phone and asked me to see if his wallet was on the counter in the house. I like to sleep, so I was not very happy that I got woken up to some kid breaking in our car.
Is my wallet in there?
So when I walked out, I just said it like right away, like, call the police. Like, why are we standing here?
What the f you doing?
I'm really sorry.
But then, like, I saw it was a kid, and I could see that, like, Aaron was kind of unsure of how to handle the situation. I just went into mom mode.
What else you got? What else did you steal from other people?
Just some watermelon.
How old are you?
17.
What the f?
I know, I'm sorry.
You trying to go to jail over stealing $5?
He was a young kid. If you call the cops on him right away, that could scar a young kid on his record. I used to get into trouble when I was younger, and I didn't want that.
How many other houses did he hit so I can get this back?
Honestly, I just wanted to get through to him, like, how stupid what he was doing really was.
You know, your whole life over some stupid shit.
Doing any damage charges.
If he would have caught the wrong house, he could have got shot over, like, a couple of dollars.
Think of this is your lucky break, man.
Yeah. We talked for about 10 minutes or so. He never tried to run at all.
Where do you live?
I don't know that he was a neighbor, but I never ran into him before.
You still live at home with your parents?
Yeah.
Where do they think you are?
Empty the rest of your pockets.
All right.
So he had about 10 pairs of sunglasses, around 5 pairs of prescription glasses, about $5, $10,
like
$20. He had a pocket knife on him, and he had a bag of Skittles.
Learn your lesson.
I am, trust me. I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize to me. Think about it.
We let him go before we called the police to come get the things. It's not ours. We wanted to get back to the people that it belongs to.
You know what?
You ever been in trouble with the police before?
No.
It's not fun, I can tell you right now.
He was apologizing that he would never do it again, and I think he got away with it once or twice and then realized the severity of it. If he does get caught, what kind of consequences come next.
I think our neighbors, him and his parents, would appreciate how the situation was handled. I mean, we still really don't know the full reason of why he was doing what he was doing. So as long as he took something away from it, that's good enough for me.
We're in Chicago, Illinois, following a big dump of snow. A home security camera records a dog on the sidewalk. It runs into a front yard, then moments later, its owner appears. She spots something of interest at the front door. It's her neighbor's snow shovel. And without asking, she decides to take it. Moments later, another camera shows the woman using the shovel to clear snow around her car. When she's done, she goes back home, taking her neighbor's shovel with her. Meanwhile, the neighbor's been watching the whole thing. He decides to teach her a lesson in neighborhood manners. First, he fires up his snowblower and proceeds to completely rebury the woman's car. Then he takes back his shovel. Later, the woman discovers the payback and has to dig out her car, armed with only a broom. The shovel owner says he would have gladly lent his neighbor the shovel, if only she'd taken the time to ask. But break the good neighbor code in Chicago, and revenge is a deep dish served very cold. When it comes to property, size matters.
Get off my property, ma'am.
And nobody likes hearing that a part of their land might belong to their neighbor. Like this woman, whose neighbor has laid out a rope to show what he claims is the official property line between their two houses.
I have the surveyed. You're trespassing.
Not so, says the woman. This is her side of the grass.
Show me the survey.
I have the permits. I have the permits right here for everything. It's right here. It's right here, ma'am. Okay, quit pulling up my property, ma'am. Come here. Come on. I'll show you the permits. I have permits, ma'am.
Yeah.
You're not moving this because it's not your property.
I'm not.
No, you're not.
I just did.
She's trespassing. This is my surveyed line that I have put up.
Trespass.
And she is tearing it up.
I'm on my own side.
Just like this one, boundary disputes can last for years, but they can be resolved. Contacting local municipalities, such as your town's tax office, is a great way to order a legal, accurate property survey.
I don't know if she's got reinforcements with a baby.
I don't have a baby.
But beware, an official survey usually means a winner and a loser.
I'm showing her the permit.
Well, I want the survey.
I'm showing her the permit. The survey is included in this permit. I had to get it. I had to get it. She is not on my property now. I don't feel safe. She is threatening me. Please get off my property, ma'am.
I'm off.
According to a national survey, property line disputes are actually the 5th leading cause of issues between neighbors in the United States.
I feel threatened.
Feel threatened?
Get off my property, ma'am, please.
I am off your property.
When a city representative was finally able to settle this dispute, the woman found that her plot was actually smaller than she thought it was.
I do not need a permit. I'll take the trees down.
I don't feel safe. She is threatening me.
The two have not spoken since. In 2009, Brad Cresson, his wife, and 3 children moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico to start their new lives.
We actually picked a neighborhood that was far out from the city. It was a safe neighborhood away from any of the kind of crimes and activities that would go along with the city areas.
One night, Brad is getting ready to put out the trash when he spots something on the security camera monitor.
I just happened to glance up, and there was a large white object in one of the 8 cameras. It's like, wow, that is not right.
Suddenly, the object moves. It's a man. His face is hidden by a hoodie, and he's staring through a window. Brad's teenage daughter's window.
I grabbed my flashlight and I walked out there and I asked him, what are you doing? What's going on? And fast as he walked past me, he started to turn into a run. And I kind of chased him down the edge of the driveway.
The man gets away, and Brad immediately alerts his family, dials 911, and reviews the camera footage.
I got my family to watch the video, and we were all shocked. Everyone was shocked.
What they see is every parent's nightmare. The man had been at the girl's window before, first for 6 minutes, and later for 4 minutes.
He was kneeling down to look through the blind. It's beyond anybody's imagination of what we thought could ever happen.
Brad's 16-year-old daughter and her 14-year-old sister are terrified.
My 2 daughters, they didn't want to sleep in their rooms. They felt vulnerable and violated. Emotionally, we were all distraught.
Brad turns to neighbors to identify the man. They can. He's a neighbor.
We found out that he just lived like 5 houses up the street. It's just really baffling how we had never seen this person.
Not only is 33-year-old Ventura Salas a neighbor with a family of his own, but he's also former law enforcement and had been fired a few years earlier from his job as a county sheriff's corporal.
That kind of shook up the neighborhood. People were pretty riled up. They were pretty angry.
Ventura Salas is charged with a window peeping misdemeanor. He and his family quickly move out of the neighborhood. The peeping Tom escapes a felony charge because his victim wasn't unclothed while he watched her. Brad Cresson is in court to see Ventura Salas jailed for the maximum sentence of 90 days.
Get a pretty good look at him, and that was kind of nerve-wracking, kind of chilling, make the hair stand up on your neck. He did say that he was sorry for what he had put us through. Dad to dad, man to man, you need to stop doing this. You need to solve this issue in your life. And if going to jail for 90 days helps, well then, I hope that helps,
Although the incident sends shockwaves throughout the neighborhood, Brad said something positive does come out of it.
I think that this kind of thing, it just deepened the relationships that we had with the neighbors. The friendliness of the neighborhood in our local area, it made it nicer for us.